super exciting. What's inspired you? And if I've changed your perceptions about Pakistan? Hi everyone and Assalamu Alaikum. Firstly, I want to say I know I'm in the kitchen and I've got all the herbs here, but I'm not doing a cookery show and I'm not going to be teaching you how to make anything. So just managing your expectations. Today's video, I'm really excited to tell you about the food tour that we have on offer in Pakistan. When you think of Pakistan, there are many things that come to your mind. And yes, I'm going to go with the cliched, what you see in the media. You think about the floodings, you think about the poor politics or the terrorism. But actually, there's another side of Pakistan that many people, and I'm really pleased because Pakistan has been inundated with vloggers by the likes of Ava Zubek and Mark Weens, who have showcased the beauty of Pakistan, what it has to offer in terms of the culinary delights, the fashion, the landscapes. So again, manage your expectations. I'm no Mark Weens and I'm no Ava Zubek. I cannot compete with them. But what I want to tell you about today is the food tour. So Pakistan is full of amazing food. You've got the biryanis, you've got the spices. But what many of you won't know is actually how diverse the cuisine is. And this was something that I went on a discovery journey on in 2019 when I went to Pakistan with my son, and we explored not just Peshawar, which is where I'm from, but we went to Islamabad and then we went up north to Hunza. And I know that many of you on YouTube who like your videos will have seen the beautiful mountain peaks and the beautiful lakes that exist there. But what was fascinating for me is the cuisine there was so different to any cuisine that I would ever associate to Pakistan with. When I think of Pakistan, I think of chili sauce, I think of turmeric, I think of coriander, all the spices that we're used to eating. But actually in Hunza, the cuisine is very soup-based. It's a lot simpler where it's salt and pepper. They don't use many of the spices. For someone like me, I'd say the food's a bit bland. But actually, for someone else, it's a discovery journey because you get to appreciate the diversity of flavours. And the reason behind their flavours or their diet being so soup-based is because most of the year in Hunza, the weather is very cold. They also border China, so they have a lot of influence from Tibet. And therefore you'll find that their dishes are noodle-based with the soup broth and the yak meat. As you start moving down and you come to Peshawar, which is my hometown, and you can see immediately a smile comes to my face, because I will argue, my husband by the way is from Karachi, so we have this internal debate, north versus south. So I think Peshawar has the best food. The best food because, let's be real, when you're in Peshawar you can forget about any diet. It is all about having fatty food, but God does it taste delicious. So two famous dishes from Peshawar are chapli kebab and karai gosht, which are just, they ooze with fat, but it is the fat that adds the flavour. When you then progress to go further down, you go to Lahore, Punjab. Punjab, I have to say, is the capital of food in Pakistan. The street food is to die for. The halwa puri, which is a traditional breakfast you have, is absolutely amazing. And then as you go further down and get up in Karachi, which is the southernmost part of Pakistan, Karachi is known for its biryani. In fact, there's a whole video I think Mark Weens has done on all the different places he ate biryani in Karachi, and even opened our eyes to a delicious biryani which we had never heard of called bone marrow biryani. So bone marrow is lamb shacks, and literally this dish is full of lamb shacks, and the filling of bone is absolutely delicious. And that's, I suppose, just a quick summary in terms of diversity of foods on offer. So what does our food tour entail? So we have a core base of the food tour. The core food tour is about 10 days. And then we have add-ons, which you can do if you have got more time to spare and have about 18 days to spare. The core tour takes you to the cities of Islamabad, Lahore, Rawalpindi and Peshawar. For us, the reason we focus on those cities because those cities are accessible all year round, so you can do those 10 days at any time of the year. For us also, it gives you enough variety to have the cuisine that are kind of, I suppose, more refined cuisines, to then the joys of the street food that you can find in Lahore and Rawalpindi, to the masala chai, to the street pakoras. But it's not just about taking you on a food adventure where you can eat all the food. In collaboration with Chef Entails, we also have some workshops entailed. So on day one, for example, after you've got your bearings, we have a workshop in Islamabad in someone's home with one of the ladies, in which you get to learn how to make biryani from scratch. In Peshawar, we've collaborated with, again, another chef, in which you get to learn how to make the local cuisine, the karai gosh. In Lahore, we've collaborated with yet another woman, which is again teaching you how to make some of the local dishes there. So you can see, actually, amongst the whole sightseeing, the beautiful mosques and the culture and the shopping, and of course the eating, there's also bits where you can roll up your sleeves and learn how to cook. So that's what I'm really excited about, because as far as I'm aware, we're the first company to be able to offer this food experience and food tour in Pakistan. Food brings people together and brings communities together. And the whole ethos of Xperience Pakistan is about trying to remove ignorance, to try and remove racism. Often racism and prejudice comes off the back of ignorance or sometimes being misinformed. And unfortunately, the way the media works, you do just hear sound bites. And really the whole objective of this tour and all of our tours is about actually enabling you to talk to the locals, feel the warmth and hospitality of the people, and have a chat over a cup of tea and a pakora. That really is the essence of the food tour. So I've got a link that I've shared at the bottom, which will give you the detailed itinerary so you can see exactly what you do day by day, and it also gives you an idea of the prices, which will vary depending on what time of the year you go. But you're probably wondering, so I've just told you about the food tour, but what is all of this in front of me? So apart from food tours, obviously I have my lifestyle website, which was born on the back of COVID. On the lifestyle video, we've got these amazing serving platters. So for me, Ramadan is not just about obviously fasting, there is a whole spirituality aspect of it. It is about time to almost hone in on your inner self, to understand the meaning of life, and also put things into perspective. What I like about Ramadan is that it brings people together, because everyone's on the same page and everyone is a lot more aware of their behaviour and the impact and the responsibility we have to our community. But of course, when you're fasting, one of the most favourite times of the day is the iftar. So the iftar is basically just as sunset happens, when as Muslims we can open the fast. And those of you, or those of my friends who know me, they know that for me, it's not just about what you make and what you're presenting on the table, but it's about how you present it. Everyone knows I'm a sucker for homeware, and my kids make fun of me because even every evening I'll set the table up and they're like, "Our guest's coming," and often I'm like, "No, it's just I like to have everything presented nicely." So for Ramzan, I've got these beautiful platters, which is a perfect way, in my opinion, of how to serve dates. And then you've got the dipping platters, which were one of my best sellers over Christmas, and they continue to be. And I often get asked the question, how would you use the dipping platter? And that's where the chopping board thing comes in. As I said, I'm not here to teach you how to cook, but I'm here more about giving you inspiration. So of course, in Ramadan, we're all fasting. And traditionally, I know back when I was younger and in my culture, it's all about fried food, it's all about massive feasts. But actually for me, that contradicts what Ramadan is about. Ramadan is actually about being humble, about being modest. And certainly in our home, for iftar, we just have one starter and then we have the main meal as we would normally. And that is something that I would encourage, particularly at a time when we know that there's a lot of poverty all around us, even here in the UK. And I would always say to all my fellow Muslims that if we have spare cash and we have spare food, to actually use that to maybe feed the local neighbours or be aware of the local community. And actually for Ramadan, keep it simple. It's healthier for you and it's more in the spirit of Ramadan. So I'm going to do a quick thing. So one of the favourite things at our home is hummus. And I think hummus is something that every household loves. A, because it's simple, but it's something that all the kids and everyone eats. So I've just got some cucumbers that you can just lay out here as by way of example of how you can do a simple iftar. So after the dates, if you don't want fried food and you want something that's a bit healthier, you can just get yourself, cut some cucumbers, and then I've got some naan breads here, which normally, to be honest, I would probably warm up a little bit, but everyone has their own preference. And just to keep it easy, I kind of cut it in strips. I think also for me, again, being a sucker for presentation, I think presentationally it looks nice because you can just line it up like this. And I will show you the finished product in a while. And then of course we've got the carrots. So the carrots again just go really nicely with the serving platter, and it adds a bit of colour. It's all about appearance and colours. You want the food, you want everything on the table to look appetizing and look welcoming. And I think that's sometimes where, some people go wrong. They can have the best food, but if it's not presented in the right way, you're just not going to get people to eat it, especially kids who are extremely fussy. So, just in the interest of time, I'm going to just do some quick carrot cuts. So cut the carrots in stick, and I'm going to try not to cut my finger. So just cut it in half. And of course, I'm going to share the link for this as well. So all the serving platters are available on the website, Xperience Pakistan Lifestyle. They come in 4 different designs, and they're all named after different cities and places in Pakistan. I always say, actually, education isn't just about textbooks. Education can be done in a very creative way. And if someone were to ask me, what's your brand about? I kind of always joke and say, actually, I'm an educator brand. Whether it's my candles, whether it's my holidays, it is all about educating you on the history, the geography of Pakistan, but in a creative way, in a way where, whether you're a child or an adult, I think we all, we all kind of tend to be more receptive to receiving information when it's done in a creative way than just a textbook. So I'll do the final carrot stick there. And then I will show you how we can do it. Oh, and of course, if you, like me, love your chili, so there's a really good company I've come across by the name of Mama Nita. I think her Instagram is Mama United. So she does the best green kind of, I think she calls it the green sauce, which is a mix of coriander, chili and mint. But I will warn you, you have to like your chili. So I have a collaboration with her, and you can get the sauce from my website, which is from her. It's one of those sauces that's really addictive. So I've got all my carrots, and I'm just going to get some hummus and put it in the pots over here. So normally, obviously, I've just got the one, but you can mix it up and put in different hummus kinds, or you can put some taram salata or tzatziki, depending on what you like. I'm going to just walk over to the fridge to get the chili sauce, which is just here. So this, again, I warn you, is extremely spicy, but absolutely, if you like your chili and you like your kick, you'll absolutely love it. Unfortunately, this is only available in the winter months because she makes everything from scratch. So the ingredients that she makes it from is only available in the winter months. You can't get it all year round. So that kind of finishes that platter there. And I've got my dates. So I'm now going to just walk you to the table and kind of show you how it looks presentationally on the table, and just something a bit appealing and a bit different of how you can present your food. So now that iftar is ready, all that's left to be done is to call the boys down so we can sit down and do our prayer, and of course light the candle. So I hope you've been inspired. Whether it's the food tools that I spoke about or the serving platters, the links for both can be found at the bottom. Do comment and let me know what's inspired you, and if I've changed your perceptions about Pakistan.